When you think of NPB players with off-the-field controversies, there are many that you can think of. Roberto Osuna, Hotaka Yamakawa, Trevor Bauer, Ryutaro Hatsuki, Tomohiro Anraku, and even guys that are permanently banned such as Masaaki Ikenaga. But there is one player who was equally as controversial as them all, and one that you may have never heard of and isn't usually discussed as much. His name is Hiroaki Nakayama. Born on November 4, 1967 in Kochi, in the prefecture of the same name on Shikoku Island, Nakayama played high school baseball for Kochi Commercial, then was drafted by the Yokohama Tire Whales in the first round of the 1985 NPB draft, which was where the Giants notably drafted Asumi Kawada with some controversial methods. While he didn't do well in his rookie year, going 0 for 3 with an ERA of 5.11 in 18 games, he eventually improved in the relief role, eventually becoming the Whales' new closer, which really showed in his 1988 campaign, where he nearly tied Noboru Akiyama's franchise record for games pitched with 70, then went 10 for 6 and recorded 24 saves, falling 13 short to Yuan Chico, or Genji Kaku as the Japanese called him. He then also broke Akio Saito's Whales record for most games pitched in relief, which would eventually stand until Shun Yamaguchi broke that record, way after they were called the Yokohama Bay Stars. And then that would be the peak of his career, as he eventually fell off after that. But unfortunately, things would eventually get worse for Nakayama. In November of 1991, he withdrew from the Whales' autumn training camp in Okinawa due to injuries to his shoulder and lower back. And even worse, there were reports coming from his teammates that he was in an unstable mental state, having lost his motivation to play baseball by then. But if you think those two things were enough to kill someone's career, you were not prepared for what's going to happen next. On November 12, 1991, as he was going back home from practice, he was reported to have done, let's just say, things to kids that would get me banned from YouTube if I told them. Yeah, this got him fired from the Whales. Not only that, he was also banned from baseball. While he was eventually just slapped with probation, his wife broke up with him soon after. He eventually went to work for a freight shipping company, while also eventually settling things with his victims, apologized for his behavior, and then after a petition asking for him to be reinstated reached 100,000 signatures, he was eventually reinstated back into baseball. After his reinstatement, he was firstly made a batting practice pitcher for the Chunichi Dragons, and then eventually became a proper player for them in June of 1994, where he pitched 6 games, allowed 8 hits and 3 runs across 4 2/3 innings of work for the Dragons. Nakayama eventually began pitching regularly in 1995, where he went 3 for 6 with an ERA of 3.27 with 4 saves in 44 games. In 96, he became even better, 4-4 with 14 saves and an ERA of 2.88, being the Dragons' backup whenever their Korean closer, Dong Yol-sun, was getting trouble. He even saw action at the All-Star game again, where he was relieving for Takashi Saito in Game 3, and despite letting it hit the Ichiro, he then proceeded to retire Arihito Muramatsu, Koji Akiyama, and Kazuhiro Kiyohara in order. Helping the Central League to a 4-2 victory. Muramatsu, Akiyama, and Kiyohara, by the way, are some of the most well-known players in NPB, so he was quite facing some stiff competition. After that, it was more or less just a middle run for him for the next few years, where he'd even make his lone appearance in the Japan Series in 1999, where his Dragons would fall to the Fukuoka Daihawks. Nakayama would pitch at 1-2-3 inning in Game 3. Eventually, after 2001, Nakayama left NPB and went to Taiwan to pitch for, fittingly, the China Trust Whales, the CPBL, where he became a starter and went 12-for-10 with an ERA of 2.80, led the CPBL in shutouts, finished 5th in wins, 3rd in ERA behind Xiao Qing-su and Jonathan Hurst, and helped the Whales to the 2002 Taiwan Series, where the Brother Elephants would proceed to sweep them aside in 3 games to win that year's Taiwan Series, with Nakayama being saddled with a loss in 2 of those 3 games. Nakayama would then pitch one more year for the Whales, where he went 13-for-4 with an ERA of 2.20 before he decided to hang up his cleats and retire from baseball. Overall, his career was decent, where he pitched over 123 games, went 51-71 with an ERA of 3.83 and 62 saves across 961 innings of work and 14 seasons at NPB. In his CPBL career, across 59 games, he went 25-14 with an ERA of 2.50 and 356.2 innings of work. Overall, despite his play, his career is unfortunately forever overshadowed by the legacy of this scandal. And that is the story of Hiroaki Nakayama, the most controversial NPB player that you might have never heard of.